Rules. It has zero welding, all-strip body. It was only seatbelts. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it! Oh. Today on Zach's Garage, we're going to talk about something that nobody really talks about on YouTube about demolition derby cars. And that is when you fuck up. So right here, we have a 95 or 6, I'm not sure, Toyota Camry. And it ran and it drove and it stopped right here fine, no problem. I stripped the car to fill up a van to go to scrap just so I could have another car empty, and now it will not start. So I'm going to bring you through the steps I've done to try to get this car to run. And as of right now, it still does not run, and I'm getting very fed up with it. I'd like to thank a lot of people on Impact Motorsports Facebook fan page. I had a couple questions, and by far, I don't know everything about these cars, and I'm not saying I do. There's a lot of guys out there that know a lot more about Toyota Camrys than me, but I should really start learning everything about these cars because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got about 8 of these cars now, so I should really start learning about them, and I should really start digging into the wiring more than I have. Now, my experience with wiring is basically anything in the back, you bring to here. Anything in the front, you move back to at least here. And that gets it away from the crush zones in the cars. But what these guys are doing these days is they are taking their harnesses apart much more than I am comfortable doing, and much more than I've ever done before, but I'm going to have to get more comfortable with this. As it sits right now, this car does not start, run, or drive. So I'll show you what it looks like now. First issue is the fuel gauge said empty. So I thought maybe it was out of fuel. So what I did was I put 20 liters of gas in the tank. I'm going to drain it out again anyway, so I don't really mind putting fuel in there. Go to start it. Still will not run. So I don't think that's my problem. So then I start listening for fuel pump, and I can't hear the fuel pump coming on. So what I did is I cut the harness out of the fuel pump. So I just basically cut everything right there. These are the 2 wires right here that run the fuel pump. You touch them off the battery. I probably can't do this very well with one hand. Let's see if I can. You can now hear the fuel pump running. So the fuel pump runs. So the motor is getting fuel pressure, but it still doesn't run. So the next thing I do is I pull off the intake and I use quick start. Now, if a lot of you guys don't know what quick start is, let me show you. Quick start is a type of spray that you spray into the intake that is unbelievably super flammable, and this starts anything. It still will not run. The next thing I try doing is I look at all the fuses. I test out all the fuses to see if one is blowing. None of the fuses are blowing underneath the hood, in there, these two, and inside of here, none of the fuses is blowing. Next, the next thing I do is I start looking around, and somebody's added wires. As you see, these two wires here, and also this purple wire here. And then I think, oh no, somebody's really screwed with the ignition system inside this car. And what I mean by that is, I mean that somebody has gone and installed an aftermarket automatic lock, aftermarket remote start system, aftermarket security system. And this here was just twisted into the factory harness. Now there was only one wire they actually cut and brought to this. Everything else was spliced into it. So I successfully removed this box from the entire wiring harness, as you can tell, which was not that easy, and made sure no wires were cut, and the only wire that was cut was actually rerouted back to itself, so it's got a good connection. The car would still not start, and I was starting to get really worried that my investment into this derby car was not going to pan out the way I thought it was going to. So the next thing I did was I pulled a couple spark plugs, which I pulled 1 and 3, to see if they had spark. And how you tested that was you just pulled it out, you put a different plug into it, and try to turn it over. The cylinders had lots of spark, and I do know that the spark plugs are good because the car did run and drive to here. It's not like they mysteriously went bad in the 30 minutes that the car was not running. So now that the car has got spark, I thought I'd try it again to see if it would still run. No, it did not run. So I was still a little worried. Next, I thought it'd be a couple of these relays. Now, luckily for me, I have the exact same car here. That's the same year, same make, same model, same motor, same transmission. So I started switching the relay from this car to that car. And I try to start that car, it would start, then take that relay, put it into here, and I did that for every relay. This car does not start, that one still starts, and it has all the relays out of this car. So that's not the issue. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for grounds. I've looked on the inside, and now I'm going to start looking for the outside. As much as I think that it's just probably some stupid wire that got cut and ripped off during the stripping process, and now it does not have a ground. So let's start tearing this fuse box out and see if there's a ground that has been kind of not getting a good connection, and see if that's what takes us out. Now some people are telling me without a thermostat this car will not run. Maybe that's true, but realistically I don't think that would go bad from just sitting there like this, because the car did run, drive, start to get here, and now it won't. Some people are telling me the blower motor underneath the dash. They're saying if that is missing, the car will not start. But mine blower motor is in there, and it still works. So the next thing I did is I went on Impact Motorsports Facebook page, and I made a post saying, I have a 95 Toyota Camry, and it will not start. And I didn't lie to them. I told them exactly what happened. I was stripping the car, I found an aftermarket security system. It would not start, so I removed the security system. I have not cut any wires. It still has all the wiring, even to the taillights. I have not taken anything out that I thought may have caused issues. And you know what? The help off that fan page was amazing. And I myself am a member, and I do post in there quite a bit. But I got stuff anywhere from blower motors to thermostats to grounds. So we're going to basically check all those right now and see what we can do. Because as of right now, this car still does not start. Not even a sputter. So let's look into this and see what we can do.